What's up with the cast? I broke my fucking thumb. Broke it off in your mom's asshole. Yeah, you should see the other guy being your mom. Speaking of moms, have any of you guys ever been told by like a mom or somebody that like, you're too old to play video games? Video games are for children, because like when I was growing up, video games were very much like just for kids. Now I kind of feel like it's kind of like widely accepted that video games are for every age. The Nintendo Wii was like one where I remember specifically, that was like the first one where they had old men and women playing Wii bowling in their nursing home or whatever, not thinking about the fact that their families dumped them or like a fucking stray dog. What's more of a problem? Parents who tell people that they're too old to play games, or girlfriends, specifically girlfriends. If there's a girl gamer, which as we all know don't exist, I feel like just because of societal gender roles, we see it more like if a dude is playing video games, they're immature, but if a girl is playing video games, that's like a niche hobby that they have. I'm gay, so this has never been a problem. I'm including the gays. Being too old for video games is like saying someone's too old for Halloween. Maybe I'm the boomer, but I think you can be too old to go trick-or-treating. I feel like it's at the point at which you can procure candy yourself. I think that's the point where you're expected to be giving the candy rather than getting the candy. I don't know if that's the rule, but I think it should be. Video games, like, in general, have kind of a general feeling to me since I've grown up that it's kind of like a childlike thing to do. Some of you guys have parents that have been really supportive. Others have had parents that are very, very conservative and closed-minded. Conservative and open-minded, but, you know, typically you'll have conservative parents are probably more likely to make an umbrella judgment of something like that. I don't think it's a politics thing. I think it's generally just like a lifestyle thing. My dad is a bigger gamer and weeb than me. See, that's like unheard of for like my generation. I was born in 91, so my mom played video games. My mom played Super Mario Bros. And she would always tell me it was difficult for her because she would get so competitive at it. So she was just like, yeah, I don't know why. I would start like getting angry, and like if I like died on a level, like I'd punch my leg. I feel like a lot of us have been there, but like I feel like if you don't have that like relatability to other people, you're probably like, whoa, that's like self-harm. But I feel like most of us are like, yeah, I've gotten angry and thrown a controller or like fucking shoved a remote up my ass. Yeah, I guess I'm just curious, like what causes a parent or significant other to find you immature for playing video games? And how is that different from anything that they would do to kind of do something that they enjoy? Good shit. I'm getting better at that one. Mom did not like me playing video games, mostly because she thought they were for boy. Yeah, see, like there's definitely like a gender thing. I feel like video games in general were more pointlessly gendered than pointlessly aged. I wonder how it is for people who are like, say you're on Tinder. If you put gamer in your Tinder profile, I feel like you would expect that to like hinder your chances because people would feel like you're immature, right? Am I weird in thinking that? Finally on vacation, no responsibilities for 2 weeks. Hell yeah, I broke my thumb. No responsibilities for, oh man, 6 weeks. If you make games your entire personality, possibly, I don't know if that's the same thing, because like I definitely agree. It's like the people who like make weed their entire personality, like the people who have like, you know, the Bob Marley poster and always wear the beanie with the fucking reggae, and they have all the like posters that are like glow under a black light and stuff. There's nothing inherently wrong, in my opinion, with smoking weed, but like if you make it your entire personality, I feel like you just become weirdly obsessed. And it's the same thing with gamers. I did not need to do that because I die. Fuck. One thing kind of seems one-dimensional. Yeah. Be light on the gaming stuff at first. Yeah, that's what I would do. My whole life is, like my career revolves around gaming and game music and stuff. I definitely feel like a little bit weird because I feel like it would hinder my chances. Self-proclaimed gamers, but it does always seem like a big confession when somebody... Yeah, why is it a big confession that you like games in the year 2022? That's so wild to me. Mention it as a hobby. Yeah, you're like the best esports professional of all time, but like if you're picking up a girl or a boy, you gotta fucking first have to be like, oh, it's just a hobby. I was trying to get it in the mouth. Societal stereotype, yeah. Mom, Dad, I'm a gamer. You're disowned. If somebody comes out of the gate like I'm a total gearhead and only talked about cars, and I'd be off. But same thing with music too. It's Adam and Eve, not Mario and Luigi. My God. So I'm wondering how much of it is the stigma of saying that you're a gamer. I hate that I just said that sentence. Is the stigma because video games are inherently for children and you're too old to play video games? Or is it just more like you're afraid that people would think that that's all you do? Because there's a stigma with with people who play games. Maybe they just obsess over the games. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a stigma, but like, where does the stigma come from? In my perception, I worry about obsession with the label. Yeah, if you're obsessed with games, if it's like a huge part of your life, why would you get into a relationship with somebody that at some point in the future you would have to be like, oh, by the way, I play video games. I hope that's not weird. Why wouldn't you just come out with it at first? It's a stigma of they're doing nothing to help society. Interesting. So it's almost like if you play games, games are addictive. It's like if you do heroin, you're probably addicted to heroin, right? So it's like if you play video games, then you're probably addicted to video games. Oh, wow. That was weird. No! Oh, fuck. You got the heart. Damn. How's the thumb? It's broken. Why is it a stigma to say I like games versus I like movies? Yeah, I know. It seems like silly. All stigmas come from stigmatizers. So true. But yeah, no, I think that's totally true. Like, why is it a stigma to say I like video games, but it's not a stigma to say, like, I like movies? Video games are actually, like, stimulating you. You actually have to interact with it, whereas a movie, you know, it's much easier to, like, turn your brain off and just enjoy it, right? Just talking about this, I feel like I have a different perspective on it, that, like, at a certain age, there's kind of, like, this untold truth that you're not supposed to play video games. I don't know where that started and why it hasn't changed. Saying you're a gamer carries a weird energy. Yeah, I agree. There isn't, like, a word for that with movies. You enjoy movies. You're not a movier, you know? I'm a mover. I'm a filmer. Yeah. That sounds like you make the films. Well, that's oh, what? No! Cinema buff, audiophile, cinemaphile? I think it's cinemaphile. But that's not the same thing. Like, a gamer is somebody who is like a hobbyist, right? Whereas like a cinemaphile probably like watches just a metric fuck ton of movies. Cinephile? Is it cinephile? I think it's cinemaphile, because cinephile sounds like you're a file for sins. I'm a gameophile. Cinnamon-phile. It's cinephile. Uh-oh, there seems to be a split here. Cinnamon-phile? Yeah. Being a gamer means you discriminate against oppressed groups. So true. It's just part of the culture. It still feels like games are like this new thing. It's like, it's not. Video games have been like a thing that people do for entertainment for 40 years. The 1980s was when it started becoming like a real thing that was accessible to people. You know, that's when you had stuff like Mario and stuff. Like, obviously you had video games before that in the late 70s, but like, people weren't gamers. If you said you're a gamer in the 70s, I assume they thought you meant like you played fucking Monopoly or board games or some shit. It's just one of those things we don't talk about. We just don't talk about it. Damn Scots, they ruined Scotland. I know. What the fuck? I've been bullied for being a gamer. I believe it. I believe it. That was weird. I think I'm not supposed to go down. I have to go straight. There's definitely that stigma still there. I think it comes from a weird inherent thing that video games are for not adults. Because, like, yeah, there's all the things where, like, if you're a gamer, then you probably don't do anything for society. Or if you're a gamer, you're probably addicted. If you're a gamer, like, you probably won't do your homework. What about the people who do sports and do too many sports and then don't do their homework? Oh, well, at least he's addicted to basketball and not crystal meth. Another cause of the stigma could be that violence is caused by video games. Yeah, parents are probably less like, oh, video games are for children, and more video games will make you violent or something like that. Whereas I think like if you're looking for a significant other, or maybe like if your boss was like, why haven't you done your work? And you're like, oh, sorry, man, I've been playing games. Like they'd be like, what are you, 12? That's there. It's definitely like a thing. So what do we do about it? I don't know.